And I have to ask you, do you believe you are Skyla's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
That's her ex-boyfriend, my daughter's.
Wait a minute now. Miss Cooper, this is your ex-boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor. That was a mistake, Your Honor.
And that is not the person that was supposed to stay in that apartment. It was someone from California that was advised to me that's who was going to stay in the
She wanted
apartment
me to
with
stay
my
in the
son.
apartment after her son passed
You
away.
came
when she
and
was
stayed
moving,
there when you were
Yes, I
pregnant.
did come to stay there. And the time when I was staying there, and after I moved back to my parents' big house.
Okay, hold on.
So her ex is your friend?
Yeah, told me if I...
Now we're getting places.
Well, we were
okay.
friends. We were friends.
So you went over there, got the car, but when you get to her house, your boy's girl was flirting.
No, she didn't flirt till I left. Like 5 minutes later, she sends me a text message.
Oh.
Get ready for some wild stuff. Ms. Autry claims Ms. Martin is tricking her son by saying her daughter Skyla is his kid. She's super sure she has proof that Skyla isn't her granddaughter. The room is buzzing because both sides are ready to rumble. Stick around. The excitement is just starting.
Ms. Autry, you say the defendant is taking advantage of your son by pinning a baby on him, and you have physical proof that her 2-year-old daughter Skyla is not your grandchild.
Oh boy, did that really just happen? Ms. Martin stands her ground, saying Ms. Autry just doesn't like her, and that's why she's denying Skyla is her granddaughter. She's really hoping the DNA test will clear things up. It's getting tense as Ms. Martin looks for a thumbs up from the court. The show's just getting good. Don't go anywhere.
Ms. Martin, you claim that the plaintiff is a monster-in-law and is denying your daughter only because she doesn't like you. You need help and hope to get some once the results are revealed.
Wow, things just got spicy. The judge steps in as Ms. Autry throws some not-so-nice words at Ms. Martin. The judge wants everyone to play nice so they can get to the bottom of this mess. The court's trying to keep things cool, but the heat's still on. Guess what happens next? It's a hoot.
Well, she entrapped my son by marrying him, by giving him things like money, clothes, cars, and she just wanted a man to call her uncle. She ain't but old tramp.
Wait a minute now. Let's use respectful language. I want to understand this. You say she entrapped him, but she's giving him money. She's doing this. She wanted a man of her own.
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Autry, really? Why would you say that, Miss
Because
Autry?
you do, Miss Tramp.
You've got to hear this. Ms. Autry tells a wild tale about trying to crash Ms. Martin's wedding. She found out last minute and dashed over there to put a stop to it, showing just how far she'd go to break things up. This bit is just nuts, and just when you think it can't get any zanier, it does.
Because I got a phone call, so I was getting married down to my house, so I was on my way walking down there to start the marriage to my friend. That's why I was going. I told her to go start the wedding.
She tried to stop the
When I
wedding,
got
Your
dropped
Honor.
off down
She tried
there,
to stop the
moved
wedding.
up way too close so you can get married to him.
You can't talk that fast, then turn to the side. I can't even read your lips. I felt like I was at an auction or something. I was like, what?
Just when I thought it was all over. Despite Ms. Autry's wedding crash attempt, Ms. Martin says they just moved the party elsewhere and tied the knot anyway. The whole wedding crew just picked up and moved, showing they're not giving up without a fight. And the craziness doesn't stop there. More wild stuff is on the way.
But you all ended up getting married on that day anyway, in another location.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did your whole wedding party follow you? Now I'm curious.
Yes.
Miss Autry trailing behind? Well, I don't get how that worked.
I didn't have no choice. I ain't had no car. If I'd had a car, I went right on behind them. And there wouldn't have been no wedding.
She's crazy, Your Honor.
So you've never cared for Miss Martin?
It ain't so much as I never cared for Miss Martin. It's just that
This part is too funny. Ms. Autry is now talking about toes and eyebrows, claiming these bits don't match up so Skyla can't be her grandkid. The judge is trying to keep a straight face listening to this toe tale. Hold on, because there's more funny business coming up.
she don't have the toes like my son.
Yes,
His
she
toes
does.
cross.
Yes, she
His big
does.
toe is here and his toe next
They
to big
overlap.
toe. It crawls over like that. And I have proof, Your Honor, that is not his baby because her toes don't do that.
Yes, they do,
and she
Your
don't have
Honor.
the thick eyebrows as me and my son and my daughter have. So I know
they
that's
haven't
not my
grew
son's
yet.
baby.
I mean, they grew.
All right,
You
cool.
act like she's supposed to come out with full-blown eyebrows.
She do.
No, she does.
He did.
All right.
You won't see this one coming. Ms. Martin drops a bombshell. She once told her hubby Skyla might not be his to hurt him because he had hurt her. This big reveal throws a curveball into the whole paternity puzzle, and everyone in the court is on the edge of their seats. The next part is even more jaw-dropping.
You told him, your husband, that this was not his child?
Yes, Your Honor. I was trying to hurt him. He left me to go be with another woman, and I was trying to hurt him like he hurted me.
Did you sleep with another man?
Yes, Your Honor. Prior to him coming back into my life.
And she was already pregnant.
No,
Is there any chance that man could be Skyla's biological father?
No, Your Honor.
Get a load of this twist. Just when you thought it was all figured out, Mr. Gott steps into the picture, claiming he might be Skyla's dad. This guy used to date Ms. Autry's daughter, which just makes everything more of a soap opera. You'll totally flip when you hear what he has to say.
And I have to ask you, do you believe you are Skyla's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
That's her ex-boyfriend, my daughter's.
Wait a minute now. Miss Cooper, this is your ex-boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor. That was a mistake, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin, you slept with your sister-in-law's boyfriend?
Yes, Your
Now who
Honor.
crazy, Your Honor?
That was before, Your Honor.
Are you ready for the grand finale? They finally open the envelope with the DNA results. And guess what?
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Martin.
I'll take that for 200, Your Honor. I told you.
And you believe this? Ms. Hall is super mad at Mr. Richards because he won't admit he's the dad of their 1-month-old Damani. She and her mom are totally ticked off, saying Mr. Richards is ignoring them and the baby. Just wait for what's coming up next. It's a doozy.
Ms. Hall, you and your mother are furious with the defendant because he denies your 1-month-old son, Damani, and does nothing to support him.
Oh boy, did that just happen? Mr. Richards is tossing back the blame, claiming Ms. Hall just wants him to be the daddy because she likes him too much. He tells her to go find the real dad because it ain't him. Hang tight, the judge has got a zinger coming up.
Mr. Richards, you believe that Ms. Hall is claiming you are the father because she wants to be with you. You say Ms. Hall was thirsty for love and she needs to go find her child's real dad.
Whoa, did he really just say that? When the judge asks if he's done anything for the baby, Mr. Richards is like, nope, nothing. He's sticking to his story that he's not the dad. No way, no how. Buckle up because the courtroom's about to get even spicier.
Mr. Richards, you haven't done anything for the child at all.
No, ma'am.
Admittedly.
No, ma'am.
And that's because you sincerely doubt paternity?
Yes.
What's the nature of this relationship? Tell me, what was going on here? The baby's just 1 month old and everything fell apart already?
You gotta hear this. Ms. Hall spills the beans about their past. They dated before, then he ghosted her. But guess what? He texted her again and bam, back together for a hot minute. Don't wander off. The plot thickens in a flash.
A couple years back, he broke my heart. Then I decided he hit me up to give him another chance.
You all were boyfriend and girlfriend a couple years ago, or you were just dating?
We're dating.
And then somehow he comes back into the picture because if he's potentially the father of
He instant
Damani.
messages hitting her up, talking about, hey, and it went from there.
So you reached back out to her, Mr. Richards?
Yes, ma'am.
You did do that?
Yes.
Hold your socks. It's about to get wild. They dive into this whole thirsty business, with Mr. Richards explaining it means tricking someone with sweet nothings just to get what you want. Stick around because the truth gets even juicier.
So how is she thirsty if he hit her up?
Thirst is going both ways, ma'am.
But he called her thirsty, though.
I would admit I
How's
was
it
being
going both ways
thirsty
when he called her
also.
thirsty?
Okay, hold on. What does
So-
thirst mean? Does thirst mean, what does that mean?
Let me tell you, it's the fact that I knew I wasn't gonna have a long relationship with her, but when you feed somebody the lines that you know they wanna hear, that's thirst to get what you want from them.
Get this, Ms. Hall and Mr. Richards only chilled for a week. They got back together, didn't bother with protection, and whoops, here comes trouble. Don't flip the channel. The judge's reaction is priceless.
It ended bad, but in the same token, I did like him. When he hit me up, it kind of, I think I should give him another chance. Maybe it'll work out this time. But
All right. At what point, so you all start obviously having sex again, using protection all the time or not?
No.
So how long did this relationship go on?
basically a week.
A week?
Oh snap, Ms. Hall didn't even want to tell Mr. Richards about the baby at first because he was such a jerk when they split. She kept it hush-hush until her mom nudged her to spill the beans. Keep your eyes peeled, big reveal is just moments away.
At what point did you find out you were pregnant?
When I was 4 months,
Did you immediately think it was Mr. Richards' child?
I knew, but I didn't want to tell him because how we broke up and how disrespectful he was to me. I didn't tell nobody until me and my mom sat down.
I told her, even if it's gonna be a problem, tell him so he can't never say that he didn't know and that you never told him.
Here it comes, the big kahuna. The DNA results are in, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Richards, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Angela Monroe kicks off the show with a real soap opera scenario. Her son has passed, and a lady named Shaneka claims she's carrying his baby. Angela, battling a serious illness, desperately wants to know if the little one is indeed her grandkid. Stick around, it gets even spicier.
My name is Angela Monroe. My son Herbert died on January 27, 2015. After my son passed, a young lady named Shanika Reed, just the defendant, told me that she was pregnant from my son. The baby was born on May 31st, 2016. I really would like to know if Iyanna Monroe is my granddaughter.
Guess what popped up at the funeral? Angela spills the beans about how she found out about Shaneka's bun in the oven right after her son's funeral. Talk about a shocker. The drama is just warming up, folks.
How and when did you find out about Ms. Reed's pregnancy?
I found out after my son passed, after his funeral. She came by the house and she said, I have something to tell you. And she said, well, I'm pregnant. I really didn't know what to say at first. I was kind of stunned because I wasn't expecting that.
And so, how far along was Ms. Reed when she told you?
I believe it was about 5 months.
And boom! Shaneka drops a bomb about her pregnancy to Angela, who just lost her only child. Shaneka was halfway to her due date by then. Next up, watch the tempers start to flare.
After a week after her son passed and after she laid him to rest, I called her. I wasn't even gonna let her know that I was pregnant with his child, but I was encouraged by family members and friends due to the fact that she has lost her only. So I gave her a call. I told her that I was pregnant by her son, and I told her that I was almost 5 months pregnant.
Things start getting a bit sticky here. Angela chats about how tight she was with her son, who never peeped a word about Shaneka or any baby-making business. Hold on to your popcorn because the tea is about to spill.
So, Ms. Monroe, you were very close to your son.
Yes.
And did he ever tell you the fact that he may have a baby on the way?
Knowing my son, he would come to me about certain things, but when it came to her being pregnant, that wasn't mentioned to me at all. I do have a granddaughter, which he let me know that this person was pregnant, but I had no knowledge of this baby.
Ready for a twist? Shaneka paints a lovey-dovey picture of her and Angela's son planning to shack up together, which Angela quickly calls bogus, insisting the apartment lease was in her name too. Ooh, the plot thickens.
Second week on us hanging together, he already had made it up in his mind that he wanted me to be his life companion. When she was moving out, I was supposed to move into his apartment.
Had you met Ms. Monroe? Did you meet his mother?
Yes, I did meet her.
And the thing about that was our apartment, me and my son's apartment.
You even said this is Ian's apartment.
Yikes, raise your shields. A fiery debate breaks out over who paid what and who lived where, digging up a whole garden of beef between Angela and Shaneka. And guess what? It's not over yet.
Nobody can take my son. God took my son from me. I wasn't gonna leave my son to be anywhere else. And that is not the person that was supposed to stay in that apartment. It was someone from California that was advised to me. That's who was gonna stay in the apartment.
She wanted me to stay in the apartment after her son passed away.
You
when
came
she
and
was
stayed
moving,
there when you were pregnant.
Yes, I did come to stay there. And the time when I was staying there and after I moved back to my parents' big house.
Okay, hold on.
Hold your horses. Here comes a doozy. Post-baby birth, Angela's thrilled but skeptical, especially when Shaneka starts pressing for DNA test money. Tension's cranking up, and you won't want to miss what's next.
Called me after the baby was born. Of course I was excited. Well, if you don't have nothing for her, you're gonna pay for the DNA. That costs $400. I said, well, you pay half, I'll pay half.
Why would I pay half on a DNA test that I'm not gonna get the results from? And then you could just say, oh no, I got the results, and then say, you're not the grandmother of this baby. No, I'm not gonna pay. That's what you don't understand.
All right, everyone, lean in. As the DNA results are about to drop, Judge Lake tries to simmer down the feuding duo, hoping to patch things up for the sake of the kiddo involved. The big reveal is on its way, and it's a game changer.
Ms. Reed, if in fact this is Mr. Monroe's biological daughter, would you allow Ms. Monroe a chance to be in her life and be a grandmother and get to know her son's daughter?
I would not stand in the way of that relationship. I would not.
That's what I wanted to hear. Let's focus on the paternity question. Let's focus on Iyanna, because ultimately that's what's important.
Here it comes, the big kahuna.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Angela Monroe and Iyanna Monroe is 99.98%.
Things kick off with a bang in the courtroom. Judge Lake gets everyone seated, and Jerome rolls out the case of Bell vs. Clemens. Mr. Bell claims he's shelled out $7,000 on a kiddo he sure isn't his, and accuses his ex, Ms. Clemens, of pulling the wool over his eyes. He's betting all his chips that the DNA test will clear his name. Strap in, folks. The roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Mr. Bell, you say you've spent approximately $7,000 caring for a child you are positive is not your son, and you know who the father is. You say your ex-girlfriend, Ms. Clemens, duped you into believing her 8-month-old son, Major, is yours, but you are certain today's DNA test will prove you are not the father.
Hold on to your popcorn. Here comes a curveball from Ms. Clemens. She throws Mr. Bell's accusations right back, insisting the DNA test will show he's indeed the daddy of little Major. She talks up all the stuff Mr. Bell has done for them, like moving states and buying loads of baby gear, making it clear he's been super involved. Buckle up. It's about to get even wilder from here.
Ms. Clemens, you say Mr. Bell's accusations are false, and you're certain the test will prove Major is his son. So, Mr. Bell, what have you done for Ms. Clemens and her son?
I've done everything, Your Honor. I moved from California to go be out there with her with the baby, diapers, mortgage, car notes, strollers, boxes, done everything that I feel like a father should do for his child. So I've done it all.
Mr. Bell drops a bombshell that turns heads in the courtroom. He's all twisted up about the baby's looks, especially his lighter skin, which doesn't match his expectations. He drops a hint about a white guy buzzing around Ms. Clemens, which cranks up his worry meter about who the real dad might be. Crowd can't help but gasp. You won't believe what flies out of the hat next.
So why do you feel she duped you?
Cause the baby looked like, this baby, I'm expecting a chocolate baby, and this baby came out white.
Come on now, my son's life is not a game. Every baby comes out light.
You're saying the only reason you believe Miss Clemens duped you is because the child didn't come out the shade you thought it should?
Yeah, and there's a white guy involved. That's why.
Ms. Clemens grabs the mic to clear the air. She explains the white guy is just a client who wanted his hair braided. Nothing fishy there. She stresses there was zero romance, just some hair business. The court buzzes as they chew on this new tidbit about racial expectations and innocent hair appointments. Get ready for a twist that'll make your head spin.
So far as the white guy, we had no physical. He texted me. The day that he seen the message, we actually met the day before that, and he wanted me to do his hair. It was never nothing physical, nothing. So
wait, the white guy wanted you to do his hair?
Yes.
The white guy won't braid.
He has braids in his hair.
Okay, I actually have seen that before, so he wanted to get his hair braided. You're saying you've never heard of such.
Here comes the showstopper, Mr. Bell's photo evidence. Pulls out a photo book to prove his point about the baby's unexpected light skin, even throwing in a baby morph pic to show what he thought the baby would look like. It's his way of saying, something's fishy here, folks. Hang tight, because the next reveal is a doozy.
Okay, Your Honor, this is me. As you can see, I'm dark skinned, not super dark, but I'm a dark skinned, you know what I'm saying, fella? And this is Miss Clemens, and you see she's like a cinnamon brown, you know what I'm saying? So I did a baby morph, what looked like with all, you know, with it being us, and this is what I got. And then this is my son. And this is what come out. This is how he come out, a white boy with an afro.
The moment of truth.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you. It took all of this. It took all of this just to show you. It doesn't make sense. It took all of this.
Guess what? This circus is just getting started. We dive into the case of Kane versus Wright, where the air is thick with drama over who's the daddy of little Ariana. Everyone's on edge, waiting to see how this wild ride of trust issues and bumpy love unfolds. Get ready, the roller coaster is leaving the station.
Ms. Kane, now you say you've had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright past 3 years. In addition to questions regarding your daughter's paternity, you say your relationship has suffered from instability and constant mistrust.
Yikes, talk about starting off with a bang. Mr. Wright is throwing shade left and right, doubting he's the father because of Ms. Kane's so-called fibs. He's ready to bolt if the test says he's not the dad. Talk about high stakes. Strap in, it's about to get bumpier.
Mr. Wright, you say that Ms. Kane has repeatedly lied to you, and you have every reason to doubt the paternity of 1-year-old Ariana. Now, you confess that if the results of today's paternity test prove you are not the biological father, you plan to walk out of this courtroom and have nothing to do with Miss Kane again.
Whoa, things just got twisty. Plot thickens with a tangled web of X's and oopsies. Everyone's up in each other's business, blurring the lines between past flings and current Klingons. Keep your eyes peeled. The next turn is a doozy.
So her ex is your friend?
Yeah, told me if I...
Now we're getting places.
Well, we were
friends.
We were friends.
So you went over there, got the car, but when you get to her house, your boy's girl was flirting.
No, she didn't flirt till I left. Like 5 minutes later, she sends me a text message.
Oh.
Here comes the wacky part. The plot jumps to a whole new level of crazy when we find out Ms. Kane might have been a bit too friendly with a tow truck dude right after meeting him. Ooh, the drama. Hang on, there's more wackiness ahead.
So you started dating?
Yes.
And at some point during this time, you got pregnant?
Yes.
Well, before that, I mean, we started dating, then her ex-boyfriend's always sleeping in her bed with her.
What?
No, it wasn't like that. He came over to my house because when he helped me move in, he needed somewhere to stay. My friend was sleeping on the couch. We had
What about
separate
the
beds.
floor? Now, you know you're in court, Ms. Kane.
Yes.
Get a load of this mess. The courtroom is buzzing with tales of double dates and sneaky meetups. It's like a soap opera in here, with all the backstabbing and jaw-dropping gossip. You won't believe what's up next.
I don't believe that at all. There was one instance. She went out, she lied to me, told me her friend, they were gonna have a girls' night out. Well, my boy was a door guy at the bar. Come to find out, her ex's friend, and her girl were all on double dates together.
We were on a double date, One of my friends, she asked me to go with her to meet this guy. My ex was there too with his boy.
And you thought it couldn't get messier. It's a free-for-all with exes popping up like whack-a-moles and everyone's story getting knotted like last year's Christmas lights. Brace for impact. The truth bomb is about to explode.
You all see each other, but you also have relationships with your exes.
But see, I admit what I've done.
I had a friendship with my ex.
And now
that was all it ever was between him and I.
You leave the bar at 10:30, go to his house till 6 in the morning.
So, because they wanted to go, and I wanted to go.
Okay, I've heard
It's because
enough
I didn't
of
have
this.
my phone. He
I've heard
stole
enough
my
of this,
phone
because
from me.
regardless,
Things just hit the feels train. The feels are real as Mr. Wright spills the beans about maybe not being the daddy. Emotions are flying high, and the suspense is through the roof. The big reveal is just around the corner.
She told me twice that it might not be mine.
And then she told you
while she was pregnant. And then again, months ago, she told me that she wasn't
because
mine.
she just validated your assertion.
I mean, just a couple months ago, she told me. We got into an argument, and I was like, I'm going down and filing for full custody. I'm going to file for paternity test, and I'm filing for full custody. She was like, you might want to go file because she probably ain't yours anyway.
Oh, that's when she said it.
And now for the grand finale.
It has been determined, Mr. Wright, you are Ariana's father.
Buckle up, folks! The case kicks off with the court clerk rolling out the red carpet for the drama of Coates Hooker vs. Baker. Judge Lake steps up to the plate, and the plaintiffs, Ms. Hooker and her mom, strut in, claiming Ms. Baker's late son is the daddy of Ms. Hooker's kiddo. The circus is just getting started, so keep your eyes peeled.
Ms. Hooker, you are here with your mother because you say the defendant's son, Mr. Abraham, fathered your 10-month-old daughter, Kanaya. You say that Ms. Baker and her family's public denial of this child has caused you pain, and you are here for an apology and to prove her son is the father.
Things are getting juicy now. Ms. Baker and her daughter stand up for her son, Mr. Abraham, who's sadly not with us. They're throwing a curveball by doubting he's the dad because Mr. Abraham wasn't sure himself before he passed away. Get ready. It's about to get even more bonkers.
Ms. Baker, you and your daughter are here today to represent your son, Mr. Abraham, because tragically, he was killed 3 months after the birth of this child. You say that before his death, your son expressed great doubt that he was the father of Ms. Hooker's baby, and you are here to put the lies to rest.
Feel the heat turning up? Ms. Hooker spills the beans on how tough it's been, with Ms. Baker's crew denying her baby's paternity. She talks about feeling left out like the last kid picked in dodgeball, not caring what others think anymore. Brace yourself, because there's more drama ahead.
I'm just sad sometimes. I try to deal with it now. Like, I really don't care no more. That's how I feel. I don't care anymore. I don't care who feel nothing about my baby. I don't care. It just seemed like everybody else looking upside my head like I'm an animal. Like, every time I'm sitting down doing something, they looking at me like I'm the outcast of the group. She looked like me, so why's the problem? That's why I just say I don't care about nothing and none of that.
You'll never guess what's next. Ms. Coates jumps into the fray to defend her daughter, pointing fingers at Ms. Baker and her family for the heartache they've caused. She insists the negative chit-chat has really hurt Ms. Hooker. Just wait till you hear what pops up next.
It's not that she don't care. Her feelings been hurt, so she hold her guard up. It's not Miss Baker who denies Kenaya. It's her family who makes my daughter to be his baby. She fat like them and a whole bunch of stuff. Never from Miss Baker. It's always her family who always have something to say about my grandbaby. My daughter's feelings have been hurt.
Whoa, things take a serious turn here. Judge digs deeper into how Mr. Abraham died. Ms. Baker shares the heart-wrenching story of her son being shot and dying soon after, which really throws a shadow over everything. The emotional meter is about to explode, so don't go anywhere.
May I ask what happened to Keyshawn?
He was shot on a Sunday and he died that Friday.
I'm so very sorry.
A test done because of what the other young man said, and you know.
What did the other young man say?
He told Keyshawn that when he wasn't around, he was supposedly sleeping with Denaya.
Now, here's a twist. A relative remembers Keyshawn acting all fatherly before he died, which kind of clashes with his iffy feelings about being the dad when upset. The plot thickens. What comes next is a real jaw-dropper.
In your mind, Keyshawn accepted that he was the father of this child.
Yeah, in my mind.
From the way he behaved at your home.
Mm-hmm. I think he just went off what they're saying in their circle of kids. You know, they talk, they have their...
The boy was telling him that, you know, when you were away...
Hang on to your popcorn. This part's a doozy. They dive into why Kania wasn't mentioned in the obituary, stirring up a hornet's nest of feelings and making Ms. Hooker super upset. The tension's building, and you won't believe what's thrown into the mix next.
What did I do to her?
Oh, you can't go. Don't go there, Miss Blanche, because you know the truth is
We're all here to talk, honey.
This is
I ain't never said yay or nay. All I say is what my baby said to me. I've talked to her, and she know why we here.
Exactly. And listen.
Yeah, I'm the one who
and
wrote
that's
the letter.
all I'm concerned with. All this other bickering, and I don't got time for it.
Grab your snacks. It's showtime. Moment of truth arrives with the DNA results. Drum roll, please.
Baker, Mr. Abraham, and Kenaya Abraham is 0%.
This is why right here.
Miss Baker, are you all right? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to sit down, ma'am?